Oh, Fat Joe. Oh, Fat Joe. Come on in here now, you. Come here, you. This turkey got up on the radio and said that Kendrick Lamar has surpassed Snoop Dogg and Tupac on the West Coast. Am I right? Joey cracking, I don't care. Joey cracking, I don't care. Got so much to say. He gonna speak for the West Coast. Oh, and he woke up Snoop. Now, Snoop's always made nice with everybody because Snoop is like the big open yada that gives candy to everybody that hits it. And he's non-political and he done sold his soul. So from one sold out soul to another, you think, okay, well, okay, all right, okay. No, not so fast. Skirt. He said, no. He talking about 30. First of all, before Not Like Us became some kind of anthem, before a diss track became like a statement, maybe that was what Trump was rallying for. Maybe. I mean, you got to think about it. A diss track is seen as your money track. You've been around how long? You had other songs that were better, but somehow this track, which puts down another black person, Kendrick Lamar, is living large. Now I know the Luther song is doing incredible for him. He's he's living his best. For a cat that, let's just say he went through a midlife crisis. He wasn't on life support, but his last projects, they weren't really hitting like this. So he should give Drake some money for every time he hit because Drake brought him back. If that inspired him, unfortunately or fortunately, depending where you stand on it. But let me get something straight. Just because he's getting 9 or 10 spins in LA right now and Cali doesn't put him on the same level with Tupac and Snoop. I don't think Fat Joe is a real true hip hop historian. I think he knows how it goes. He hot right now. So hot right now means what exactly? Hot right now means what exactly? That's like somebody who used a stupid LeBron James Jordan argument because LeBron sold some shoes and scored some points, but the Jordans are still selling 40 years later. That's like some people come up with the Rick Wick, Chris Brown argument or Beyonce argument because they selling something that has some hits that they're somehow capable to Michael Jackson Thriller, which still sells, by the way, 40 plus years later. You see where I'm going with this? Snoop is still an ambassador. The guy went over to France for the Olympics a year ago. Kendrick Lamar, when they did the West Coast tribute, which was only 3 years ago, he was after Dre and Snoop. He was like right before Mary J. He was like third or fourth on the food chain on that stage after Eminem. So yeah, he didn't hit big now, but if you go totality, he ain't in that argument. He ain't in Tupac's argument. Tupac did more in his all too brief time on Earth. We don't want to go there, but we gonna go there. Since Fat Joe's uneducated, unenlightened, and all he know how to do is snitch up and say stupid stuff when he's out his jurisdiction and area code. And Snoop said it best. He said, if I went to New York and said Jay-Z ain't the king and woo woo woo, or Nas ain't the king, woo woo woo, y'all would come at me and look at me sideways, cross-eyed, and crazy. If I sat up here and said that, yeah, because who's ever popping now in NY right now, because we need some data on that, who's ever popping, that they were on the equivalent, You walk around and say fabulous was happening now because of that. You got to watch how you word stuff, especially when you don't know. And see, these suckers are the moments. Fat Joe sounds just as ignorant as Gilbert Arenas with these half-baked tykes and tarts. And they just be up there trolling and saying something stupid, which has no merit and no bearing. Kendrick is great for his era. However, he ain't came up with nothing that would have touched the place of Ice Cube's Jerry Curl run from 89 to 93. None of the run of what Snoop did in the early 90s, because when Snoop was hotter than Hades. And Kendrick ain't never had nothing debut like what Snoop came over. And the Tupac that just kept getting bigger and bigger as time went on. Come on now. You gotta understand real. You're going over hot spins as opposed to a career. Let that sink in. Hot spins as to a career. There is a big difference. There's a big difference. Big difference. It's like these turkeys who try to Taylor Swift and Beyonce are somehow on Whitney Houston's level. You ain't got the songs, and people will still talk about what Whitney did 35, 40 years ago. Most of them kind of forget what you did 35 months after the fact. That's the difference between a standard classic and some turkeys that's just got some hits for the moment. But this is what we have to deal with. This ignorance, this fast food mindset, this stream hustle, this gimmick ball that's out here that makes you think that, oh, because it's popping now, that it belongs in a conversation with some of the greatest. And it doesn't. It doesn't. But it's good for laughs, especially when you know better. If you don't know no better, that's one thing. See, Fat Joe knows better, but he's trying to stay relevant because he really don't have anything else to fall back on. Because Lean Back and his hits, We Be Thuggin', what he did with R. Kelly and What's Love with Ashanti and all that, that's golden years. That's golden girl era music now. That's on TV land. No one is checking for Joey Crack. And that performance he did at the World Series after Cube threw down in LA, ask yourself, this is why I call Cap, and that's why he takes a major L. People in Dodger Stadium were rocking off of Cube. I don't think Kendrick could come out and rock Dodger Stadium the way Cube did. They won the game. Freddie Freeman, they were hitting home run. Let that sink in. Today was a good day. That's 30 plus years old. Now you tell me what Kendrick Lamar's got that's seeing that. Do tell, Fat Joe. Stay in your lane and stay in the witness protection program and keep on snitching. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.